A suspect arrested in connection with the murder of two young women in Mamelodi has now abandoned his bail bid. That's after appearing in the local magistrate's court today. The victims, aged just 21 and 22, are said to be cousins and were shot dead next to a road in Mamelodi East, Extension 17, on Sunday. A third victim, we're told, is still receiving medical treatment. SABC News reporter Offense Sitimo is watching developments for us and joins us now live from Mamelodi. And Offense, this is quite the development, I suppose, given just how much outrage there is in that community. I see a few people are still keeping quite a strong presence outside court.
Well, 38-year-old Tebogo Mnisi made a brief appearance here at the Mamelodi Magistrates Court just before he abandoned his bail application. We understand that he's facing 5 charges, among them being 2 of premeditated murder and possession of unlicensed firearm and ammunition.
Am I the only one who's concerned not only about GBV and the whole situation that's happening in South Africa with the violence against women, but about where it's going to lead us in a couple of years? Am I the only one who sees where this demonic characteristic is taking us? These acts. People don't want to wake up. But what the fuck? I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. On Sunday, 26th of October 2025, 2 women were found on the side of the road in Mamelodi East, Extension 17, Pretoria, with gunshot wounds to the head. Okay, a third person, a man, was shot during the same incident. It's funny because it's not really mentioned on the news or like focused on that much. I didn't hear it on the news. What are they doing there? Why was there? Was he trying to help? No, these questions are still unanswered. Suspect is a 38-year-old man named in reports as Tebogo Mnisi, a man named Tebogo. This gets even better. The motive is still not publicly clear, but let's be honest. Does he need a motive to justify this action? Do we need to know the motive before we can understand or let him loose or sort of digest what's going on like South Africa? But it's fine. This incident obviously sparked outrage throughout South Africa. I mean, different ministries are losing their minds, bro, framing it as a senseless act of violence against women that will not be tolerated. And it shouldn't, but it still is in South Africa. It's funny. This occurrence definitely highlights a part of a larger epidemic of gender-based violence and femicide, female, in South Africa. Now, if you're like me, you are naturally inclined to wanting to understand what is the root cause of this thing. Why is this happening in South Africa? Why? Something that is as senseless and dumb. Violence against women, femicide, whatever you call it. So obviously I did some research. I read through some script, some research, and here's what I found. There's obviously a strong correlation between poverty and GBV. I mean, think about all the mothers and sisters in poor households, bro, and how they're sort of manipulated and sort of treated as trash. They are more vulnerable to violence and exploitation. Think about the lack of safe infrastructures or the access thereof. Unstable homes, unstable and crumbling societies, fucked up people. I ain't never seen a more useless generation of men in this country. Never. This is the first time. Men that pour their stress for whatever reason, they're stressing about unemployment onto other people, onto children, onto other women, onto other niggas. I never seen such. Failed masculinity, pouring it, like I said, onto other human beings. According to research, society where men, whether incompetent or competent, are seen as superior tend to have higher levels of GBVF. Imagine being a woman who's supposed to be submissive to a man who is a bitch to his own emotions. One sign of disobedience and he will make sure that you meet your ancestors in a few seconds. It's a funny world we live in. I was going to talk about apartheid and about how apartheid normalized structural violence. But that's not even an excuse anymore.
Generational trauma, substance abuse. I mean, you all
need to wake the up, honestly. But like I said, I'm not a hero. Support systems for victims are weak. Underreporting is massive. Only 1 of 25 rapes are reported in Gauteng, and we see Tekasi. Who are you going to tell? The counselor, he's a too. The school system has failed us. Parents are absent. Cowards. Community is fragmented. You know, sometimes I wish the matrix was so visible that whoever's leading it could just defragment this whole shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, this is not sci-fi shit. Anyways, sorry for saying shit too much, just me. It's almost as if, I don't know, it's almost as if South African men are way dumber than toddlers, bro. Dumber in the sense that they can't see or understand these things, or see these things are leading South Africa to a very dark place, bro. I think I talked about it in a video I did on rape. one time and it didn't get enough traction. I feel like, and I hope this one does, because people need to wake the fuck up. I mean, this is my country. This Mamelodi incident fits a perfectly and equally demented pattern. High levels of femicide, often involving someone who is a victim, partner, or ex. Find your ex. Maybe we should stop blaming math as well. We have a cycle of outrage, virgils, then silence and continuation. You know, when I think about the shit that happened in the US a few months ago and how President Donald Trump hopped up to that situation ASAP. And then I look at our president who's still chilling, saying nothing. It makes you wonder if Julius Malema was right about that dude being an abuser himself. Allegedly, though. Each case sparks brief waves of anger, but then silence sets in and the cycle continues. I mean, if the men in South Africa don't wake up, if y'all don't wake up, more lives will be lost, families devastated because of you niggas. I mean, we all feel unsafe in public spaces already. Bro, it's literally a war zone and hunting ground for women out there, bro. Do you know what that means? Imagine being a rabbit in the bush being hunted by other individuals. That's literally what it is, bro. At the same time, y'all are raising psychos, boys who grow up thinking violence is normal. We see it, every single day. We see these kids. Gender relations will deteriorate. Imagine a society where women can't trust men anymore, bro. How are we gonna function? It will become a symptom and accelerator of wider social decline. One may come on here and I may do the same thing. Come here, oh, men need to take more responsibility. Communities must be active. That's a whole lot of BS. It might be right, but it's a whole lot of BS. The truth of the matter is, men need to stop being sissies. I mean, Java himself, you listen to Java himself has a whole song literally dedicated to these whole BS, bro. I don't mean to sing it, but when I'm singing, then you know this shit is serious, bro. I'm so pissed because this is my country. And nobody seems to be talking about it like that. But I'm happy about the people who are striking down Mamelodi. I wish I could join them. Because there's no way, bro. Ain't no way. Who spawned these things? Where these niggas come from? It's the reason I'm like, bro, angels and demons, it's not necessarily spiritual, bro. It's human beings, the people around you. It's the people around you. That's why it's natural, it's logical for you to assume that the person next to you is a killer. Stay safe.
I think the first message I want to be able to share is we need 30 minutes with the President of the Republic of South Africa as voiced in action. Mr. President, Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa, please give us 30 minutes of your time. We've been talking about ending gender-based violence. We need to implement solutions. We have the solutions. In June, Mr. President, I gave you a package. I believe that package includes some of our campaigns in terms of what we can implement so that we can fight against this problem. We can't be losing people like this. Here we are saying justice for Tsiamo and Baliseng. 22-year-old and 21-year-old. I mean, no man owns women.